Women are goddesses, but not equals? Somebodies, we were all created by a woman. See, back in the 19th century, a group of physicians decided that women were acting irregular, and since men couldn't comprehend, and men don't have a uterus, they just chalked it up to women being batshit crazy. Hence, hysteria. We know now that women were not hysterical. They just had a different anatomy than men. How about that? What I don't understand is why men and women, yes, women, the ones that don't want children, still don't realize what women sacrifice to create life. So let's run through some of the crucial points, shall we? Of course, the number one that is so obvious to hide, weight gain. There's a baby in there. What did you expect? Although there are some women that enjoy immersing themselves with their cravings. And guess what? It's okay. It's their body. Let them be. And by the way, they're also feeding their child, you know. Women also experience pain and discomfort. Back pain, swollen feet, morning sickness, labor pains. Not to mention you have a being inside of you pushing it all around your organs, pushing on your bladder, so you have to pee more constantly. All this just to create you and me. And now seriously, let's get into this next one. Hormonal balance. For all of you that wonder why women act differently when they're pregnant, it's the hormones, the mood swings. And why? Because right now, women have no control over their body. A little being does. Cut them some slack. Oh, here's a fun one. Dietary restrictions. Women have to give up stuff to make sure you're healthy, like smoking. Yes, that includes weed. Also, any illegal drugs, any kind of alcohol, so no fun. And caffeine, yeah, caffeine. No more coffee, no more energy drinks, no more soda. Now, I sense some of the women just checked out of having a family when I read this one off. And not to mention, your marriage changes. And why? Because every waking moment now is for the baby. Simple, right? Well, some partners, mainly men, don't understand why there's such a drastic change. Why can't some things stay the same? You know why things have to change? Because a newborn is a fully dependent being, primarily for mom. Unfortunately, some partners don't agree and either stray and cheat or just leave altogether. Way to go, asshats. Like mom doesn't have enough on her plate to think about as is. So why don't you men wash the sand out of your vagina and just stay away. Now we get into some serious stuff, which is postpartum depression. The goddess that is a woman has been forever chained, but not always for the better. They tend to have feelings of anxiety, sadness, and detachment. Now ladies, I'm not foolish enough to delve into this category, but I highly implore you to watch the movie Night Bitch to get a realistic look. Beware though, because this film is very powerful.
Do you just love getting to be home with them all the time? Must be so wonderful.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a good question, you know? But it's complicated though, because I mean, I would love to feel content, but instead I feel like I'm just stuck inside of a prison of my own creation where I torment myself until I'm left binge eating Fig Newtons at midnight to keep from crying. And I feel like societal norms and gender expectations and just plain old biology have forced me to become this person that I don't recognize, and I'm just angry all the time, like all the time. You know, and I would love to direct some of my own artwork towards a critique of the modern day systems that articulate this, but my brain just doesn't function the way that it did before I had the baby, and I'm dumb now. And I am deeply afraid that I am never going to be smart or happy or thin ever again.
Now, before women became mothers, they worked without fail. But when that baby arrives, things do change. When women go back to work after pregnancy, now they're seen as the pariah. They're seen as the person that is not committed to the job because they have to go tend to their baby. So now promotions get rerouted to the man or a career woman. And maternity leave in the US, hey, you only get 12 weeks, and depending on which state you live in, you may get some of your pay, or I hate to say it, none of it. Again, that is insane. Do you know that in the US, in some professions, women only get paid 82 cents out of the dollar, while the male counterpart still gets paid the full dollar? I'm a man and I'm infuriated by that. Now, what are the professions where women don't get the whole dollar? Here are some examples. In healthcare, doctors, dentists, pharmacists, nurses. In business finance, stockbrokers, analysts, accountants, auditors, and brokers. In the courtroom, lawyers, judges, paralegals, and legal assistants. Tech and engineering, software developers, civil and mechanical engineers, IT managers, data scientists. In education, the most underrated profession. Pretty much all the teachers and professors, along with school administrators. Hollywood and media, actors, entertainers, anchors, journalists, writers, authors, PR personnel. Government job, police officers, firefighters, and our military. And lastly, how about the blue-collar people? Truck drivers, construction workers, electricians, plumbers, mechanics. I mean, I just read off this list, and this seems way too long for inequality for the women. But fair enough, I am not going to leave on such a low note. So, here are the countries that do value women. During and after pregnancy. In Sweden, parental leave is 480 days paid. Yes! Paid. You get 14 weeks of maternity leave before and after, and then once you decide to come back, they ease you into it with a shorter work week and flexible hours. Not to mention, they heavily subsidize daycare and early education. Now in Norway, you get 49 weeks fully paid, or you get 59 weeks at 80% pay. Maternity leave is 18 weeks fully paid, and they will absolutely structure a schedule that works for you. Yes, you, the goddess. In Iceland, maternity leave is 6 months fully paid, not to mention strong equality laws for women. Denmark gives you 18 weeks of maternity leave fully paid, not to mention shorter work hours and generous paid vacation, and highly subsidized daycare. Lastly, New Zealand, with maternity leave of 26 weeks fully paid, with subsidized early education, and most importantly, strong legal protections against discrimination. Now, after spewing all this knowledge on you somebodies, I think we should address the elephant in the room. Ladies, the irony doesn't escape me that a man created this video. So I will say, right here and right now, I am an ally. I was raised by a wonderful single mother, and I am also a father to my wife, not to mention, I watch Night Bitch. Now unfortunately, another sad reality, men don't always listen to women when this topic arises. Not to mention the ladies that have no interest in creating a family. They view women as complaining or whining. I am absolutely not looking to mansplain anything to you ladies, but rather women-splain everything you go through to the men and unsympathetic women. So, to all of you goddesses, I salute you and thank you.
Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. Like, you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us.